So I've added some new things onto my Mercier page for anyone who's interested. I thought I'd let you all know because you asked me from time to time about Mercier. So I've added some new blushes. I need to add some skincare and some body care. Have some clothes over there for my fashion girlies. And there's just general makeup on there for anyone who's interested. So after the video's over, make sure you head over and go check it out. Now on to the video. What's up, everyone? It is your girl Gelbeauty 87 here, aka Grace Honey, and today we're going to get into the Unity collection from Adept Cosmetics. Y'all know I live for Adept moment. I love the fact that it's like change your colors and reflects when you move the packaging. This is giving I'm living, I love me Adept moment. We all know that. So of course I was gonna pick up this collection. But if you like videos like this, if you like new makeup releases, if you like the latest fragrance videos, if you like the latest complexion videos, there's quite a few of those coming up. Stay tuned. I did Patrick Ta, I'm wearing makeup by Mario now. I did Kosas, and I did Huda, of course. If you like a good dupe video, I do dupe a lot of makeup products. I also dupe fragrances, and I've started diving into fashion a little bit. So if you like that sort of content, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Now on to what we're talking about here. So I'm going to put on the blush palette in this video. Obviously I have on no blush for a reason, but this is what it looks like on the inside. I thought it was a gorgeous color story, and I thought it might look similar to the Surrender palette, at least when it came to the shimmery blushes. So I kind of want to compare those in this video. So I'll swatch those first, put this on the face, and then we'll get into the eyeshadow palette. But I want to show you the comparisons of the eyeshadow palette now to other eyeshadow palettes, so that way we can get that out of the way. I didn't bring a lot. I literally just pulled from whatever was here. So in the shorts, there'll probably be more palettes to compare to this one. But for right now, I'm going to show you what I got. So I have the Cimmerian Sunset from Adept Cosmetics because I feel like they were somewhat similar. To me, this seems like a more warm tone version of this, and this seems more like a earthy green tone version, if you will, or more pinky tone version, whereas this is a more orangey tone version. But I feel like they look pretty similar when it comes to certain aspects in the palette. So I thought that was interesting that they came up with some that was similar. They're not exact, and I'm not saying they're exact just to start off. I'm just saying they are similar. And so I wanted to point that out because I found it interesting that they came up with one that was somewhat similar to that one. Next, we have the Ulta and Makeup Just for Fun Flora Story Palette. Is that what I thought? Yeah, Flora Story Palette. So here are they side by side. I feel like this would be a good one to put with this one if you wanted to bring in a few more purple and green elements, since there's like a pink, a purple, and greens. This has more of the purples and greens that you might want to bring into it. Not to mention it has some neutral tones that you could put with it. So I thought that'd be a nice little combination of shades. Next, I have like a few palettes from Unearthly Cosmetics. Believe it or not, I have the Fairy Frolic. Now I don't know if they make this one anymore, so just FYI. This is what they look like side by side. Again, I feel like this would be a good companion palette because it has some tones that'll go nicely with the tones in the Adept palette. So that's why I want to show it alongside it. The one I feel like looks most similar to it, I'll show you after this. But then I have my Strawberry Milkshake palette. This is the first palette I ever bought from them, along with the Poison Apple palette. They have since discontinued, but here's what they look like side by side. I definitely feel like this is like one that's closer to it. It has some fun pops of greens to go with that deeper green. It has some reds to go with the pink that's already in here, and the Adept shimmers are amazing. So I feel like those shimmers will go nicely with these, and these could be toppers for inner corner and lid. Now the one that took me back, I was like, is the Devour palette, because I feel like the Devour palette could actually go really nicely with this as well to deepen it up and give more grunge. And I felt like it gave me somewhat similar vibes. I feel like there are brighter colors in the Adept one, but I felt like the Devour palette could be somewhat similar. You just don't get as many fun shimmers in it because it has less shades than the Adept one, obviously. That was all the palettes. So let me zoom you in real quick and cute like. So let me get the Surrender palette to compare. So here is the Surrender palette. This is actually going up on Mercier after this video is up, because if you all remember, I decluttered this, but I told you I wanted to see how similar the shimmers were in this one to this one. So here's what they look like side by side. So I'm gonna swatch the orangey looking one and the pink one alongside this one and see, because it looks like the ones from Unearthly Shift and the one from Adept doesn't. Let's see. So I'm gonna take this darker one called Passionate from Unearthly, and then I'm gonna take Roses Are Red from Adept. So Unearthly, it actually pulls a little bit more red than I expected it to once I get it on the hand. I want to see if it's similar to the ones I already have from Adept, because this shade looks like it's similar to what the red ones already have, so I will do a comparison of that in the shorts, but I don't have it here now, so you'll have to wait till then. But this is Passionate from Unearthly, and this is Roses Are Red from Adept. And then, like I said, we'll swatch the orange one. So it's called Luscious in the Unearthly palette. And then we'll swatch Orange Pearl in the Adept palette. But yeah, so here's Unearthly and Luscious. As you can see, it looks more similar to Roses Are Red than I thought it was going to, but it has like a shift that shifts to orange, which is why I wanted to put it with this one. Because see, when I turn my hand, how it's looking more orange, that's why I wanted to compare it to Orange Peel. But this is what they look like side by side, in case anyone was curious and had this palette. I reached for my Adept more just because this was a limited edition thing and you can't get it anymore, and I don't want to be using it and then someone asks what it is and they can't get it anymore. So it's just more of, although it's something I do like, I decluttered it because, you know, I can't really use it in videos or anywhere for you all to see, for you all to, I don't want anyone feeling bad because they can't get it basically. So I'm going to, was going to do the orange, but now since I have other different eye looks to do, I don't want to do the orange, so I'm going to go ahead and do this one. And maybe I'll do the purple highlighter as like a topper type situation and try to do something fun as opposed to, you know, staying with the safe one. I might put this Honey Never Spoils along with magenta to get a little bit more color, because I feel like it's not going to give me enough of what I want based upon my like skin tone. But I figured I'd start off with the neutral one. Yeah, so I'm going to have to mix in the magenta on top, so let me just put it on the other side now. So it gives decent pigmentation. It's just, I know like my cheeks eat off blush because I have oily combination skin. So it's building up okay. I add in magenta, you can see a little bit more color. So yep, there we go. That's what I was looking for, more of like this shade. But I feel like it's good that I feel like just about all the shades work for me, or I can mix the shades together and make them work for me. That's what I'm liking about this palette, because y'all know a lot of times blush palettes, like, they don't all work for everybody's skin tone, whereas this one, then that one's too light, pop the bright pink on top. If the bright pink is too deep for someone else, they can mix in this shade and make it lighter and work for them. And then the orange, I like the fact that it has a different like gradient. I don't know if y'all see there's like a gradient going on with it. I thought that was really cool, so I'm just like, okay. But yeah, I think I'm going to do the purple one, and then I'm gonna have to go off camera and spray my face to, like, you know, set that stuff in, so we're gonna have a fair chance of like a wear test. But let's see how the purple looks. Okay, there we go. Because at first I guess I didn't pick up enough purple. Oh, it's a nice subtle purple, which I'm happy about, because I didn't want to like glittery extra one. But I think it's because it's supposed to be a blush topper. That's why it's not super extra and glittery, which again, I'm totally fine with. But can y'all, yeah, see, y'all see it's a nice simple iridescent moment. Oh, it's cute. I'm here for it. Put it right on the cheek right here. Yeah, it's looking real cute, y'all. So I got this video and like a few more videos, but I'm only gonna do one more because I try to do like at least 2 eye looks a day. Sometimes I'll do more. Like if I didn't have Adrian with me, I would probably do like all 4. But okay, y'all, so on to this palette. I'm going to go off camera, get my life in order, and I will figure out what we're gonna do with this palette. I really want to do a like fuchsia pink with this dark burgundish on the back and like green vibe, and then figure out what shimmer I want to use, because I kind of want to use this one right here, because when you turn it, it looks like green, but when I turn it this way, it's a brighter shade. So I can put this in the front of the eye and maybe put that toward the back of the eye. So that's the vibe I'm feeling just looking at it, but we'll see what happens once I put it on my eyes. I'll be right back. Okay, girl? Hey, y'all, so I just want to give you an update. New eyes, who this? New eyes, who this? No. But, so as you can see, the blush and the highlighter have still held up quite nicely. This is part of a 3 looks 3 palettes if anyone cared, but you're here for Adept, so let's focus on Adept, which is the cheek. So I think it looks pretty good. I've had this on, let me see, what time is it? It's close to 10 o'clock, so I've had this on for almost 8 hours. We're really close to the 8-hour mark, so I think I just wrap it up here, because I think I put this on around like 3 o'clock and almost at 10 o'clock, so around 11 would be close enough. So I figured 7 hours was close enough, or 6.5 to 7 was good, because I feel like the blush is looking nice and I need to wrap up this video. So the blush is looking great, the highlighter is looking great. I did go run some errands after that, so I went and got some gas. I went and picked up food for everybody for dinner tonight, because my mom did some cooking, so I had to get in for everyone. So I did go out into the world and have these makeup products on in the elements, but I think it turned out pretty nicely. So just an update on the blush, it's fire, it lasts a full 8 hours. I will give swatches in my shorts, with the eyeshadow palette comparison, so you'll have to wait for that. But back to this video. Okay, y'all, so I know it's a lot. I did a little extra when it came to eyeliner, so I got on 2 different Made by Mitchell eyeliners that I thought would match nicely with this. So let's see what we're working with. So I used these 3 shades, these 4 shades. This is our inner corner shade, and that's how we got this eye look. So we put on some primer and then we can get into it. Hey guys, I'm like so pleased with this eye look because I wasn't sure what exactly I was gonna do, because I was like, there's so many colors to choose from. I was trying to figure out what to do, but I like what I turned out with. And I felt like being a little extra today, so that's why I did like 2 graphic eyeliners. Y'all know I usually just stick to like 1 on like the outer V or whatever. Not on the outer V, sorry, on the actual lid. I don't usually go in the crease that often, but I miss doing fun stuff like that, and I was inspired to do it with this eye look, so I was like, okay, let's do it. So here we are doing it. The sad part I will say though is like the 2 pinkish, reddish, purplish shades. It ended up oxidizing, and I feel like they look pretty the same. I feel like I see that much difference in my crease when it comes to those shades. It's not truly exact. That's why I'm glad I just went ahead and put both of them in there, in addition to putting it on the outer V. So I put it on the outer V on top of the deeper brownish, berryish burgundy shade, and then I turned around and put a shimmer on top of that so I could have a little extra oomph on the outer V. So that's what's going on. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but I thought it looked pretty cool, so that's why I went ahead and did it. I remember it being cool from another eye look I had did in the past. I think it was with the Makeup on Your Radar collection, so I was like, let me go ahead and do this again. But I'm feeling it, it's real cute. I definitely want to pair the iridescent shimmers from the Makeup on Your Radar collection with this palette because I think it'd be really nice. Okay, y'all, so I'm going to take the next shade, which is Mauve's Mist. That was the Moss shade. So I did Mauve's Mist toward the front of the eye. And then when I got toward the back is where I started putting in the shade Live a Little, that dark pink shade. But right now we just brush this in the front. I'm really glad I picked the purple highlighter too. I feel like it turned out way nicer than I expected it to. Now I'm going to do the outer V shade, believe it or not. It's called Balanced Brown. And then I'm going to turn around and put the pink to bridge the 2 together. On the other side I did the pink and then I did the brown last. But this time I'm deciding I want to switch it up. I try to switch it up every now and again, y'all. I swear I really do, but you know. So that looks good enough. We will put the shade Live a Little, which is that pink magenta shade, in between both of these. Kind of bridge. Like, I'm only putting this little space right here. I'm not trying to bring it up too much. And I just thought it was a nice like dimensional crease because this starts off a little deep, and then you get into the deep dark pink, and then you get the deep burgundy-ish type brown outer V shade. So let's cut the crease with some glitter glue now, and then we'll start adding all the shimmers. Okay, so I started off with the shade The Peaceful Path, which is that one I told y'all looks green, yellow in front, but then when you twist it, it turns like green in the pan, depending on which way you turn your head. So I wanted to start off with that as my first shade. And we're going to pull it all the way back to where the glitter glue stops, and then I'll put the pink shade Live a Little on top, and then I'll put the shade Rose Orchard on top of that to get like the dimension that you saw on this side when it comes to the coloring. So that looks good. Now I'm going to flip the brush over to the side where I originally did the pink, and then just take the pink shade and start patting. I really like this ombre effect. I thought it looked really nice. It looks nice with just the matte, but like I'm extra and wanted some shimmer, so I put the shimmer on top. Plus I want to use some more shimmers in the palette because I love Adept shimmers. Their mattes have gotten better and better over time, but I've always just been a fan of their shimmers. So I wanted to make sure I used as many as I could. So that's why we used 3. Okay, so that looks good. Now it's time for Rose Orchard on top of Live a Little. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I actually have a pencil in my waterline. I put on the Moira pencil. I don't remember the name of it though. I just grabbed it because it was in the bathroom. So let's put our inner corner shade in, and then this eye look is complete. And we can talk about my thoughts. So the inner corner shade is Petals, that bright pink I showed early on. I thought it'd be a nice, you know, transition. And it ties in with the theme of the eye look, which is what I was going for. So Okay, y'all, so here's the finished eye look without all the extra. I will do that off camera because that's going to take a little bit longer. And I want to talk about my thoughts on the palette. So let's back it on up now. So as far as the face palette goes, I like it. I already knew I liked their shimmery face products. This is my first time having a powder from them. It is one of those like the average blush where you have to build it up, which is nothing wrong with that. I like that it's buildable and it doesn't come off very pigmented. The Cover Effect ones do, and I like those depending on like what kind of mood I'm in. But I'm just like the general person who likes to build it up to the intensity that I would prefer. Not to mention if it started off building up really heavy and pigmented, then if it was an ashy looking color, it wouldn't look the best on me, and I'm going to be able to add that pink in it and make it work out and make a nice balance to it. So I appreciate that. The shimmers in there are kind of subtle, which is nice because they're supposed to be blush toppers, so you don't want a big like glittery shimmery effect. It's kind of like more of a satiny type sheen that adds, you know, that glow from within look, which is really nice for a blush palette and for people who don't like really shimmery highlighters, because it's like you can use it as a highlighter or a blush topper. I plan on using it for both, so I'm impressed with what I tried in that aspect. Of course, y'all know I love the eyeshadow palette. Like, I feel like they come up with such unique and fun color stories. However, I do feel like it's kind of close to the Cimmerian Sunset like I showed, as you can see here. Now, I don't feel like the shimmers are the same. I feel like just some of the mattes are the same, like that same green, that same neutralist type tone. But it's like, it depends on what you prefer, which one you would prefer. Like, I like both for different reasons. Of course, I like the warm tone one for when I like a cute warm tone moment. It is one of the ones I would reach for, believe it or not, and I'm not really a warm tone girl. With this one, this would probably be more of like an everyday or more reach for palette than the Cimmerian Sunset, just because it has a little bit more pinks and the greens, and when I have to do a more neutral-esque type vibe, I can see myself doing something like this. Now, I know this isn't neutral to other people, but like compared to the bright, colorful neon things that I like to do, I would consider it a more neutral approach to makeup for someone like me, but to each his own. So if you're interested in picking up this collection, you can use code Gelbeauty87. I do have a code with Adept to pick up anything you're interested in. I still haven't got my hands on the glosses. Like, I meant to pick some up when I bought the palette, but I was just excited I had early access, so I just threw it in the bag and purchased it without a thought in the world. So I will eventually get my hands on the glosses. I just need to, you know, get my life in order and actually take the time to pick them up. But those are my thoughts on it. I think it's great quality. I think they have, like I said, improved their matte formula better and better each time. So I really like the matte formula here. It was really nice. It was really pigmented. It didn't have a whole bunch of kick up. If you didn't know, I'm not a person who likes a lot of kick up in the pan. I know it's just a little petty thing, but you know, like, it's just my personal preference. I know you get more like color payoff with more pickup in the pan though, but I feel like you get a decent amount of color payoff with this. It blends out nicely, it works easily. So I like this matte formula that she's come up with in the more recent square palettes like this, or maybe this is rectangular palettes like this. But either way, I prefer the formula in these as opposed to some of her older ones. It was a little bit powdery, but I didn't like the formulation of it as much. Her shimmers have always been great, and I feel like they just get better and better and better over time. So I like the fact that she continues to work on the products and they get better and better over time. So I'm definitely a fan of the palette, and I like this color story. So if you're interested in this color story, like I said, I'll try to remember to leave my link down below. I always have in the description box a link to Adept though, if you want to look over this product, and I tell you all the affiliate codes I have for any brand you're interested in. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. Make sure you subscribe. The membership is down below if you're interested. If you like more vlogs and like lifestyle content and stuff, that will be over there. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Do less, girl. Bye. The fun doesn't have to end here. Make sure you go and follow me over on Instagram, where you get the latest fashion, fragrance, and eyeshadow comparisons before they come to YouTube. So I'll see you over there.